So, Michael Watson, uh, good morning to you. As you know, well, as we all know at the office, you've been sort of self-promoting or putting yourself forward for some time as the Triumph and Disaster Ambassador for over 50. So we thought we'd put you through a proper sort of selection criteria, a bit of procedure here, and just see how you shape up before we make a call on that.
Well, there's a couple of things to remember here. I didn't realise this was an interview, but thanks for having me. As in an application.
Yeah. Actually, it's almost like a trial. It's like a trial.
I'll leave my ambassador status. Not only am I a pioneer for Triumph Disaster, I've been using the brand for, I don't know, what is it now? 15 years, around 15 years, somewhere there. And even back in the experimental stages before it went to market, my hand. So, my credentials speak for themselves.
Well, good. Well, yeah. Well, you've certainly been there from day one, and in many shapes and forms. So, I guess if you're a young person watching this out, you could probably switch off now because none of what you're about to hear applies to you. But but for some of the older fans out there, I mean, we thought we'd start with what's your morning routine? What do you do? What standard day? Talk us through it. What's your grooming routine?
I will. Well, before I take you through it, I will say it's interesting using the aging process as a guide because even in my journey, obviously I'm old school. I'm old school in the way that I've treated my skin. As I came up, I'm Australian. As I came up through the harsh realities of growing as a boy and then playing sport as a man, we didn't use anything. We didn't use sunblock. We used the oil to promote the sun. If anything, it was crazy times. And that went all the way through my social life and sporting life. However, as I reached probably late 40s, my skin would get red. And I started to get this redness in my skin. I know I probably mentioned it to you a few times trying to figure it all out. One thing I can say was that the routine that works for me, which still is old school, underpinned by natural, beautiful products that T&D actually have. So I'll take you through my routine. What I do, I've already got up this morning and I've washed my face. I don't use any product at all to wash my face. I just like to use natural waters, keeping the moisture or the oils, because I find that anything, again, you must remember at the middle-age component, anything that I do to my face dries it out. Anything. I've only got to look at a soap product and I'll come out in a rash just thinking about it. Okay, so what I've done to prepare, is my skin in the morning is very sensitive, so it likes hot water to start. So as I said, I am old school, so I like to soak.
Sorry, Mick, just one point that you should pick up on there. So most Australian skins are pretty sensitive, right?
It's like leather, mate. You see that, mate? You don't get those picking up down. Okay?
Sorry, carry on. I'm enjoying this. Is great. I'm learning.
Saying there's no way that guy's 50. Trust me, there's no filters here, ladies and gentlemen. Okay. So what I tend to do is I soak a face cloth in hot water. Let's get it a little bit hotter. Open up my pores. It's almost like the barbershop towel.
Good.
I'll bring that on first.
Yeah.
Get a really good soak there. I'll do that twice. Hotter the better. Hot as you can. Like how
do you shave every day before work? What's your process, or are you sort of bi-daily? What's your sort of
bi-daily? I'm bi-daily, and again the fundamental reason for that is two things: is the skin sensitivity of my skin. If I shave every day, I'm going to get red. The other thing is I can't, because bloody aging process. Because of the aging process, I don't like it to go anything other than 2 days, because when you get to our age, your grey hair is coarse and it takes the colour away from your skin. So the moment you go 3 days without a shave, you simply look like you're about to die. Instead of people walking saying, "Morning, how are you?" They're like, "Oh, all right. You okay?" you like a chair? Is there something I can get for you? Bit of a, get that heat going again. Beaver hairbrush. Beaver?
Beaver, badger.
I badger hairbrush. Although my mate has this, I haven't bought one for a long time, as you can see.
I think that's more rather than a brush issue you've got there.
What's that?
I think that's more a technique issue than a brush issue you've got there. You know, you don't. You don't have to kill it.
I'm like that with my. I'm actually like that with my toothbrush as well, to be honest. I get a bit of a hard time there. Again, once again, I soak that in hot water.
Yeah.
Using that to stand the bristles up and get a nice foam. I find that the old-fashioned shave cream, this is heaven. Absolute heaven. Makes me tingle. It also gives me the closest shave and best shave. I don't use anything else. Haven't used anything else for over a decade. At the moment that I started this technique, I kid you not, all through here gets so dry and red if I don't do this.
I remember it. I remember when you came into the first office we had, and you used to rave on about it, and then all of a sudden, so you must.
And all you said to me was, "You're getting old," which was not helpful. But what you did do, right? I'm gonna have to stop speaking for a minute. So I'm a bit rough in the way that I like old school. I like to start from the nose down.
Yeah. Someone once told me that the average shave has something like 70 strokes of the razor. I couldn't comprehend it, but actually, when you start to think about all the little ones that add up, it's sort of a lot goes into it.
Yeah. Absolutely. I've just got a technical issue here. Here we go.
How often do you change the blades? What sort of razor are you using?
Well, that's an interesting question. I wouldn't be able to tell you off the. What I do is I tend to buy the more expensive disposable ones that have like 6 cartridges. So you're probably paying. One's an Extreme 3.
Yeah.
And I couldn't get the one I wanted because of COVID-19. So I like to have a 4-blade now, because the more blades, as I've got older, I've got a bit hairier, and as I said, the greyness is coarse. It's not a nice beard. It's not a nice beard at all. I don't like it. I do press quite hard because I'm rough. I'm a rough person.
With the grain always, though?
Beg your pardon?
You always go with the grain? You always go with the grain shaver?
I always go with the grain.
Yeah.
I go with the grain. I don't like going against the grain because, again, it rashes me. I'm not very handsome.
My personal experience is against the grain will inflame you.
Yeah.
That's my experience of it.
I think you go against the grain if you're one of those dark-haired, thick bristle. You got no choice. You've got to go against the grain, or by 5 o'clock you look like you haven't had a shave. I can get away with. I can actually get away with today and tomorrow without having any bristles come back, and then day 3, that's when I got to go again. Nice.
And are you finding, you know how old men, when old men they sort of have their shave, and then about lunchtime they go to the bathroom and they look in the mirror and they realise they've missed the whole streak down the side of their neck. Are you at that stage yet, or are you?
I do experience that quite regularly. I do. That's actually really funny, because that is never a true word spoken in jest. I also keep a razor at work. The one I've missed.
So do you think it's the extra skin that hides it in the morning, or do you think it's the eyes that are failing that can't see it? Or is it the combination?
Eyesight, there's no doubt. The worst one when there's no doubt, it's so embarrassing. You go and you duck into the bathroom, when you go to the mirror, which is always always corporations have great lighting in their bathrooms, and then you realise you've missed the Adolf Hitler straight down the middle. And it's like, oh my God, there's literally nothing worse. Okay.
So that looks pretty tidy and clean. That looks good. That's a fresh shave.
Looks good. It is good. I then drain the water. I give myself a little clean up with a face cloth. There is one more, a couple of more steps to the process because, again, it's my pores. Well, I don't know this scientifically, to be honest, but how it feels to me, to my skin, my pores are still open.
Yeah.
Obviously, my face feels it feels great now. It feels fantastic. The thing about the old-fashioned shaving cream from T&D is I actually don't know what you're putting there down, but it tingles. Yeah. It feels like you've got a peppermint effervescent on your skin. It really tingles.
Yeah. So there's no menthol, but what there is a little bit of added grapefruit sort of in the end and a few other bits and pieces. So there's and the coconut surfactant's just a nice gentle cleanser, foaming agent. So really soft on the skin, eh?
It's really soft on the skin, but it actually feels like I've had a coffee for my skin straight away. So I've gone from feeling, like I'm in the morning, I'm in the bathroom, tired, my face feels tired. And once I'm finished, I feel my skin feels like it's alive, like I've actually had a shot of coffee. What I do to finish the actual shaving process is that I run cold water.
And what's the theory with the cold water? Just to close those pores.
Yeah. Again, it's all my theory, but it does feel that way. So I don't, believe it or not, I don't like cold water on my skin. I don't love it, but I do. Well, maybe it's just how I like that, to be honest.
I think it's maybe the Neanderthal coming out from washing in the stream in the morning. That's sort of like,
I don't know if it's just the fact that that my old man used to do that, and some traditions feel good. They feel nice, but I think for me, when you talk the word ritual, it feels like it's not complete until I've done that.
And did you how much it's interesting because when we started the brand, we talked about the influence a father or a grandfather figure has on your routine and your morning ritual. So you watched your old man, or did he teach you to shave, or was it more like the old school? Just watch me, son. That's how you do it.
Yeah, he did teach. I think he did teach me, to be honest. My old man had the beautiful old thick, heavy stainless steel razor that opened up at the top and you put a blade in.
Yeah.
Fantastic. But literally the old man would finish and look like Homer Simpson. Everything my old man did was fast. So he put the water in. So first we save water. Second, you want your hot water in there. He'd lather up, foam up, and then he'd attack it like he's trying to get some sort of record. And he'd have cuts everywhere. It's just crazy. So he would always have cuts under his nose and cuts. I've actually got a couple of here today, but I do like tradition as far as what the old man taught me, and to be quite frank,
so what about
process?
Yeah, and so what about once you've shaved? What's the next stage? Is that it, or you talked about?
No, the funny thing is, it's again with the aging process. So if I found myself, I've got two game faces. I've got a game face for home.
Yeah.
And I've got a tube of game face that actually sits at work as well.
Yeah.
And there's two reasons for that. So I let my skin cool for a bit, tighten a little bit after my shave. But if I forget, I'm in trouble. So if I forget, I'm not kidding. Again, the aging process. If I forget, by the time I get to work, I'm red, and then it's irreparable. So what I do is got my game face because I'm also bald. My game face works in two ways. So I don't use a lot.
Yeah.
I concentrate, always start on those areas there, under my neck. So if I'm going to get dry, it's under here.
Yeah.
It's a big focus for me under here. So rather than just rub it in, I'll actually massage around my chin and around my throat, because that is, it's not only do I get dry, but it's almost like, it looks like someone's dragged me up the road. I get sore under here. Just a bit of effort there.
About the old back of the neck. Do you ever do a bit of the back of the neck?
I do the back of the neck, yep. So
Nothing.
I'll do my head.
Yeah. Nice.
My head round. And same thing, I've got a massage into my head. Otherwise, in an hour, I'll look 70. Right, massage on my head. This is the best thing I've ever had. In fact, and I'm sure you know this, that occasionally when I start to have skin problems, I've run out, and I haven't had the time to get back to driving disaster. And I don't look, to be quite frank, I think I genuinely started using this realistically about 8 years ago on a daily basis, when I actually came to you and said, look at the state of me, what's going on? And I was just red through here, so red and looked like a rat, like, a birthmark. And I started.
You were doing a lot of work outside at that point, though, eh? You were personal training at that point, and so you're outside a lot.
Yeah, I really was. So what that was an even harder one, because I would wash my face with cold water 3 times a day, apply my game face, but I also started using that outside on a daily basis, which was heaven. That's actually, again, what prevented me from drying out. But because I work in an office, that's for the weekends now.
Yeah.
However, just a bit on the back. So as I say, so at lunchtime, I've got this really weird skin. So my whole life I've had olive skin, and a very oily skin, very almost like an Italian sort of feel to it. So it's wonderful to moisturize, but if I just moisturize, I get greasy. I'm quite, like really greasy. So like literally by lunchtime, if I was to go like that, or someone was to walk up and say, "Oh, how are you?" and they'd be like, "Oh, wild."
Yeah.
So I also need to do my ears, because again, once you're getting old, you find all these little dry areas everywhere. It's horrible. I feel like a lizard sometimes. So around midday, I rinse my face with cold. Excuse me. I rinse my face with cold water, and again, I'm cautious not to use tissues or paper or anything, because it's got wood fibers in it, and that's, again, I feel that really bad for my skin. So I wash my face with cold water and I just let it dry. And once it's dried, I go back out and apply my game face again that I keep at work. And that is my routine.
That's awesome. I'm impressed, I have to say.
I may not be a good-looking man down, but I'm looking good.
Well, I have to say, I'm impressed. You've definitely taken it all to heart. You're never quite sure how much gets in when you're walking in and with the band in the office. But I'm impressed. I'll have to take this up the chain to management, of course, in terms of the photo shoot campaign. But you've passed the first test.
Look, I think we all know that the Triumph Disaster family still is fighting for me to be the face of Father's Day, and I'll say that eventuates. It'll be an honour.
All right. Well, it's well and truly noted. But listen, good work on the good work. I hope you're surviving this coronavirus. I really am impressed. It looks good in there, and you're looking fit. So you're obviously doing something right.
Yep, feeling fit, looking good, and keep up. I haven't come up to see you for a while, but I will stick my head in because I've got to get some more product, to be quite honest. And COVID-19 has have left us all searching to the back of the shelf.
Yeah. The one good thing for people like you and I, Mick, is our haircuts haven't suffered. Everyone else with hair, eh?
I know. I look at, I don't want to be rude, but I look at the hair on David Seymour. I didn't think he can look any worse. But yeah, he's awesome. Well done.
Hey, good stuff. I look forward to having a coffee. Well done, mate. See you soon.
Good on you, mate. Thank you and have a great